What up, YouTube? It's your boy Danny back with another video. And a fresh haircut as I almost hit a container in my driveway. How you guys doing? I'm gonna shift gears real quick. I am currently headed to Rivian of Olathe. Why? Well, to test drive the Rivian, of course. Shout out to everybody who watched my Cybertruck test drive video. That was a lot of fun to make. A ton of fun to make. Shout out to Logan, who is now also going to do a Cybertruck test drive. I'm very excited for that video. So I like to see his opinion and his reaction and how he drives and if he wrecks. That'd be kind of funny if he did. It'd be horrible because he'd have to pay for it, but you know. Anyway, don't want to put any bad vibes out like that. Not for me or him. So knock on wood, everything goes well today. So I'm headed, like I said, to Rivian in Olathe. I've got my camera mount clip this time, and I have the camera already set up on the neck mount thing. So I'm actually starting this video off with the iPhone 16 Pro that I'm using right now to film my intro to that. So yeah, we are headed to Rivian of Olathe. And I've already been talking to a guy named Luke all morning. He's excited for me to test drive the R1T. Of course, he assumes I'm a potential owner or customer. I mean, I am a potential customer, but he thinks I think he's thinking I'm going to end up pulling the trigger on it. I'm not. I did tell him that I drove the Cybertruck on Saturday, and I'm really wanting to compare the two and see which one I like more, and I left it at that. So he doesn't know I'm just making a YouTube video and I have no intentions of buying it all. So the good thing about these test drives is, at least I know for sure, obviously with Cybertruck they give you the truck for an hour by yourself, and I requested Rivian do the same thing. You do get the truck for an hour, and I don't know if it's by yourself or not. So hopefully it is, because if not, how am I going to make videos? So hopefully this is not a bust, but it might be, and if it is, that will suck. So knock on wood that it doesn't go that way, and that I get it by myself for an hour. That's all I'm asking, just an hour. So all right, I will see you guys at Rivian of Olathe. It's on Santa Fe if you're local. 135th Street, also known as Santa Fe in Olathe. So pretty easy to find. I don't even need GPS. I know right where it's at. Okay. There it is. Looks like a brand new building. Pretty cool. They're doing a lot of resurfacing on the road, so when I get in one of these, I'm gonna like go a different way to get out of here. That way I don't get any tar on a truck that's not mine. So yeah. Alright, here it is. Sorry, I'm along the very noisy I-35 highway. But unlike Tesla, I only get 30 minutes with the Rivian. But here it is in like a bluish gray slate color. It's really nice. So, yeah, just gonna go around it real quick. I actually don't mind the headlights in person. I actually think they look okay. So, there's that side. And obviously we'll get some footage on the inside. Look at this. Got like a cubby hole thing. I forget what they call it, but yeah, you can like store stuff in there, which is pretty cool. Then back here, there's their tonneau cover. I will say it's noisier than the Cybertruck is, but it's nice that it's still an option. Go ahead and close that back up. Nothing like rushing to do video, but I only got 30 minutes, like I said. Pretty cool. Alright, we're gonna go inside. These door handles close when you start driving. Otherwise they stick out when the car is on but not driving. So anyway. Alright, car is ready, so we're gonna go in reverse so I can back out of here. It is, of course, very quiet. It's got regen braking just like the Cybertruck, and it's just as responsive, and you can actually make it more or less responsive if you want to, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm able to use this switch or not, just because of the angle of my chest versus the angle of like all this in the front. I don't know if this might just be completely useless. In fact, it looks like it is already. So this may just be what it is, and I may just use my phone. But yeah, so I have to be back at 2:45. It's already 2:20. That's not very long. All right. Very quiet ride. It's got 2 screens, which I'll show you here in a second. Very smooth ride. You can change the ride height, just like in the Cybertruck. It's got a panoramic roof. Yeah, panoramic roof. I cannot talk. So not bad. It's got an actual rearview mirror. And that's all it has. There's no digital one because it doesn't need it. It's not like the Cybertruck, where the Cybertruck, blocks the rear view mirror when the tonneau cover is out. So yeah, the regen braking is very nice. So there's a Rivian right here. This guy might be test driving one too. At a service vehicle, so he just works there. Okay. So I will say, with the Rivian, you kind of blend more in with regular traffic than you do the Cybertruck. And these, I believe, start at $70,000. So for $10,000 more, you could have a Cybertruck and stick out like a sore thumb. So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, the Rivian, it's very premium, very nice. The interior is beautiful. It does have FSD, full self-driving. I'm not going to use it. Just because these vehicles are not mine, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to pay for an accident if one were to happen. So, but yeah, just your standard EV. It really is. I do like it. And I guess seeing the headlights up close made me not hate them so much, but I don't know. They do have a governor on this test drive unit, so you can only go up to 80 miles per hour, whereas the Cybertruck did not have a governor, and you can go as fast as you wanted. So he did tell me that they do monitor me driving it, which is fine. I expected that. I just thought it was funny that he let me know. He probably has to, at least with Rivian, but Tesla, they didn't even mention it. I'm sure they did too. So, but yeah, it's cool. It's really roomy in here. The seats are super comfortable, and I guess they're made of vegan leather. So that's nice. The interior is absolutely beautiful. It matches the outside. It's got some sort of wood. I forget what he said, what kind of wood it is. But yeah, really cool. Really, really cool indeed. Heated seats, cooled seats in the front, just heated in the back. I'm not a fan of the stocks. You know, to use your blinkers. And it's not because the Cybertruck didn't have them at all. It's because they're stubby, and the travel, like, I feel like I'm overpressing the stocks. Maybe because I'm used to my Chevy Cruze. But I don't know. Not a fan of the stocks. I do like that it shows the camera's immediately on the main screen, which I'll show you. So you can see right there. And then here's the other screen. As you can see my left camera currently activated, which is nice. Very nice steering wheel as well. Very premium. So, pretty cool. So, yeah, it's nice. Here's the panoramic roof. Here's the other side of the car. So it's cool. Perhaps I'm biased, but I think this Cybertruck is better. Not gonna lie. This is not bad though. It's a very close second. You know, it's an option if you absolutely can't stand Elon Musk and Tesla. Then go with Rivian. Nothing wrong with that, and save you some money as well. And it does ride height. I think I've already mentioned that, but it does ride height. It's got off-road mode, which is cool. 22-inch wheels, which is nice. And these are the free wheels you get. Like, these aren't anything extra, and they're really nice. So yeah. But I like it. I do like it. And I probably would have been more excited had I driven the Rivian before the Cybertruck. But I think the Cybertruck wins. I do. Oh, wow, that Taco Bell's closed down. Everything's closing down over here in Olathe. That's crazy. But anyway, back to the car, truck, whatever. It's got premium audio. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's nice. It's very nice. But I like the Cybertruck more. I just do. So it is what it is. There's the back. I don't know if I showed the back, but I'm showing it now. So there you go. So yeah, it's cool. They use the right stock to put it in the drive, reverse, and park, and all the other stuff, which is cool. But again, you did it on the touchscreen on the Cybertruck, and that's not an option here at all. They have a physical stock, so it is what it is. It also draws traffic, kind of, just like in the close vicinity, but it doesn't draw the shape of whatever vehicle you are next to. So keep that in mind as well. I will say, I am not a fan of the blinker sound. It's like somebody tapping instead of an actual blinking sound, you know? But. It's like somebody doing this. Not a fan of that at all. I also don't like the steering wheel compared to the yoke steering wheel in the Cybertruck. Yes, I told you I was going to be comparing from when I drove the other day to this one. This is nice. This is very nice. But I don't know. I don't think it's better. And you may. So if I'm biased, then so be it. But just driving the Cybertruck on Saturday and driving this, like, I looked forward to driving the Cybertruck, and I missed it when I left in my Chevy Cruze. Am I going to miss the Rivian? Probably not. You know, it is what it is. So let me get this off, because I'm not gonna use any of that footage. So, all right, here's a better view of the inside. As you can see, I still have the film on the screens, but here's the main screen where it shows drive, reverse, neutral, park, and when you turn left, that screen comes up. Or, I'm sorry, that's right. I swear I know my left and my right. That's right. Then when you turn left, there you go. And there's a little mini map. So after you turn to the left, blink, and you're done. It goes back to the mini map, and then you've got the full map right here, so which is nice. But yeah, let's look at the infotainment real quick. I do want to go over that quickly because again, I don't have very much time. There's the anime version of the Rivian. I like how it's drawn, and you can change it to sport or snow. Right height is low. Let's set it to high. You can hear the back. And then, I don't know if you can tell, but the front's definitely raising. So that's cool. The back's raising more. And you can do that while driving too. You don't have to like be parked. Sure creaks a lot. All right, and then we're going to put it back low. Why does it creak so much? The Tesla didn't creak. Huh. And you can do a ride feel as well. So, then we've got cameras. So there's your backup camera. There's your above camera, which is cool. Obviously AI generated. That's how they do that. Let's see what else. What is this? Camp mode? Yes, you can camp with your Rivian, which is pretty cool. Let's go back to here, and then I want to tap on the car. And let's access the... Okay, first I gotta put it in park. Okay, we're in park now. So let's access the front. And it's rather large, it is. I'll show you. And yes, you press the button and then push on the door, just like in the Cybertruck. Okay. You know, even at its lowest height, it's still tall. And I'm a short guy, so. Here's the front. You got pockets here, windshield washer fluid reservoir. You lift this up. You've got, that's a charger. That's a fix-a-flat thingy and a little pocket of something. I don't know. So that's cool. And then close it. You can open and close it. There's a button right here. So you just hit that. There you go. It is closed. Just like that. So pretty cool. Again, these stick out when you're in park. Real quick, you do get these with a certain package. This is the mid-grade package, I believe. It says Rivian down there. Vegan leather, very nice. I don't know what the difference is. It feels like real leather, but there's Rivian right there. Nice headrests with yellow accents. Pretty cool. Love the color of this thing. I really do. Let's get a better look at the back. So, screen here of some sort. It's not on. These do that. This pulls down, and you can access the pocket thing I showed you earlier. So, you know, the thing that's on the side. So very nice. Again, there's the panoramic roofs. And yeah, again, access the cubby hole where you can smuggle immigrants. There you go. And as I said a second ago, in the middle, you can reach in and grab your immigrant or snacks or whatever. So pretty cool. Then you got some rails to bungee stuff together. And I've already showed you this, but I'm gonna do it again. Because why not? There's the tonneau cover. Loud for some reason. It's so loud. He said the newer ones are quieter, so because this is, I guess this is a Gen 1 or something, and they have a Gen 2 coming out. And then this is the bed gate, so whatever they call it. But yeah, pretty cool. In here, I didn't show this in the Cybertruck, but it had one too. But you can actually lift. Okay. Oh, no, that's not it. This lifts up somehow. I forget how he did it. Whatever, it lifts up. There's a cooler in there with a drain plug. So, very nice. So good for tailgating, for sure. Tailgating at a football game, not tailgating in traffic. Don't do that. So, yeah. Pretty nice. Sorry I'm in a hurry, but I only get 30 minutes and not an hour, which L Rivian and W Tesla. So, all right, I guess we'll head back. So I'll get some footage of me driving with that camera on the dash. The dash is not nearly as big as is the Cybertruck, in case you haven't noticed that. That sucks, but hey, it's also a different shape, so it is what it is. Okay. It nags you to put your seatbelt on, which I don't mind. So, okay. All right, Rivian, let's go take you back to the dealership. It's a quiet ride, it is. Even with all the potholes in Olathe, and there's plenty. Smooth ride, it really is. And I'd say it's a decent contender, honestly. If you really don't like Tesla that much, don't like Cybertruck, but you do want an EV truck, I'd look at the Rivian. But keep in mind, the Silverado is actually pretty nice as well. I've not test driven that yet. I don't even know if I will. But I looked at Jerry Rig Everything's video today on the Cybertruck, or on the Silverado EV. Quite nice. It's detecting rain, so that's why those came up immediately, automatically. Because it is a stormy day. Right now it's pretty chill. One thing I will say about this model also, it's a dual motor. It's available in single, dual, and triple. And I don't know if it's because it's a dual motor or what, but I can definitely hear the whine of the electric motor when I'm not only driving, but when I'm using regen braking. It goes, it's really noticeable. I think I barely heard it in the Cybertruck, but in this, and I didn't have music on in that one either. I'm not testing stereos in these videos, obviously, because I'm trying to get how the car is without all the extra noise. But I could definitely hear the whine way more in the Rivian. I don't know if you can hear that on camera, but it's noticeable. So I think it's just something you just have to deal with. Just, you know, a loud whine of an electric engine, but it's definitely not as fun to drive, but it is fun to drive. I would take this over my Chevy Cruze, no problem. But 70 grand when I could spend 10,000 more and get a Cybertruck, that's a hard sell for me to go with this over a Cybertruck. But you also have to be like me. You kind of like the attention, negative and positive. So maybe that's why I like the Cybertruck so much, because it's controversial and it's so weird looking, and I think it looks cool. You know, I didn't used to think so, as you remember. But yeah. And then over here on the right, there's a bunch of Rivians in the parking lot. I don't know why. Maybe just overstock? I don't know. Okay, I'm back. And it is pouring down rain. So it is what it is. Good thing I did the test drive when I did. Otherwise, it'd have been a little bit hard to do. At least with the outside footage. Had it been raining, I guess I could have just used my DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. Anyway, shout out to Luke. Thank you so much, dude, for letting me test drive the Rivian, being cool about me not buying anything, and inviting me to test out the SUV, which I'm going to do. So, and thank you all so much for watching my videos. I do appreciate it. More to come. I have to talk louder because it's starting to rain harder. It is pouring down. The next review I do in terms of cars will be the Model X. So I have Tesla. They've been texting me asking how I feel about the Cybertruck and if I want to purchase. I'm going to reply with, no, not just yet. I want to test drive the Model X, which they invited me to do when I was there on Saturday. So I'm going to do that next. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. And yeah, I will be doing a comparison video between the Cybertruck and the Rivian R1T that I just drove. So stay tuned for that. That's probably likely the next video. All right, guys, take care. See you all in the next one. Peace.